Greetings from Florida. Today we're working on a 98 to 2004 Cadillac Seville window regulator. If you need these, please see upanddownmainstreet.com. Behind the plastic cover behind the metal handle is a screw. You have two screws behind where the pull is. When you pull the door closed, you'll find hang on, I'm just pulling some things out of there that I put there the other day. I locked the window up the other day. Pull this back right here, and then you got two screws right there. And there's one last screw that I did not take out, that I took out the other day. It's at the bottom left, all the way at the bottom on the left. It's pretty easy to get out. You're going to pull this back. Then you have to pull off two connectors. That one pulls towards the back of the door and then slides out. I can't do it with one hand, but I put the camera down and did it. And the yellow clip, you unhook, and that comes off. And then I tried to do it for a while with one hand, but it just wasn't going to happen. So eventually I put the camera down. And you'll also find a wiring harness right, come on, you can do it. Right there. Just pop that off and you're good. You can put the door panel aside. Now there's some punch pins that you have to push in and then they come right off. I took off the other ones the other day when I was already in the door. There's about 13 of them. To put them back in, just slide the pin the other direction and then put it back on. You may want to take off the two clips that hold the keyless entry module on, just to give yourself a little more room to work with there. And by the way, I unplugged the motor, by the way. You're probably going to break the plastic. Don't worry about it. I just took out the screw that I put in the other day. There's two 10mm bolts, or nuts I should say, two 10mm nuts. And then you have a total of 5 bolts that you're removing. A couple on the bottom. You'll see them. They're pretty visible. And once you get everything out, there's probably some trash inside the door from part of the regulator that broke. You could take that out too. 3 Torx screws hold the motor to the regulator. They come right out. By the way, I'm not really this fast. This is at double speed. But it shouldn't take you long. Go ahead and line the motor up on the new regulator. And put the 3 Torx screws back in. Again, if you need these, hopefully you'll see my website, upanddownmainstreet.com. Thank you. This whole thing shouldn't take you, if you've never done it before, 45 minutes to an hour max, probably less. All right, we're going to reinstall. Oh, there's one long bolt. Put that on first. That's the one that lines up, you'll see. Lines up right there. And the other 4 smaller bolts, all 10mm. Tighten all those down. You'll probably have to lean over and get the door panel to go ahead and plug in the wiring harness so that you can go ahead and put the window up. Or get the regulator up, I should say. The window, as you can see, is already up. Put the key on. There you go. You'll need to loosen the two 10mm nuts that are on there now. Put it up all the way. Put your fingers in there. Just make sure that the glass is inside the channel. Sometimes it can be a situation where one of the channels ends up on one side of the glass or the other. So just make sure that they're on. I took off my suction cup, running up and down. Also, if you need to and you want to, you can put some WD-40 or Power Lube or Pam cooking spray lightly in the two vertical up and down channels at the top, the run channels. Sometimes the rubber gets dry over time and then the run channels just cause the glass to grab. A little dab will do you. Any kind of silicone's fine, you're not using that much. As you can see, this panel cracked in half quite nicely. They're brittle, they're old, maybe it's a Florida thing, but we find that that happens on these all the time. Unlike the Seville, which is made of a different plastic, which does not break. And then pop in all those pins again. And remember to plug in both that white clip, that white prong plug you just saw, as well as the cable to the handle. Pops on quite easily. And then 4 screws, 3 large screws, one there, one at the bottom that I just showed you for a second. You'll see it. Just look at the very bottom left on the driver's door, very bottom right on the passenger door. And 2 there. So I thank you for watching the video. I hope you'll consider Up and Down Main Street if you need to order these. Thanks again.